Okay, so we're back again. The video went a little bit haywire, but hopefully we're back now. So, continuing the unboxing, we've got the gold coins, which I said. Then we've got a little bag of silver coins as well, so they will obviously have value. Then we have in the middle a block of cards, which I will tell you about shortly. And then we have bags of different coloured cubes. So green, black, red and yellow cubes, which obviously will have a relevance in a bit. That's the box. Box is quite nice in itself. Means you can keep stuff good and clean and undamaged. Okay, so we're just going to unpack these cards, so I will be right back. Okay, so I've unpacked the cards and I've put them into a little bit of an order for now. We will simulate a game setup in a little while, but for now we're just explaining. Okay, so along here, these cubes that I said about earlier on, they're actually known as spices. So the black one is cinnamon, then we've got cardamom, which is green, then we've got saffron, which is red, and then turmeric or turmeric, or however you want to say it, in yellow, depending on whether you're from the north or the south. I'm from the south, so I'm saying turmeric. Okay, then we come on to the cards. Okay, so this game is for up to 6 people. Okay, and each person.
Okay.
So it's a game from for 2 to 5 people. Okay, 2 to 5 players, and each player will be given a card, which I will explain a little bit later on. But you will all be given one of these cards, and that goes in front of you. And I don't know whether you can see on the video. I doubt it, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 spaces, 10 cube spaces. That is the maximum number of cubes you can hold at any one time. Again, explain that a bit later on. The next set of cards are your starter cards, the hand you will start with. So each player will start with one of these and one of these. Okay, so this allows you 2 yellow cubes. Okay, so if you play that card, you will get 2 yellow cubes. Okay, if you play this card, obviously you wouldn't play it unless you've got cubes already, but if you've got, say, 2 yellow cubes, you can upgrade them to 2 of the next colour. So for example, if you've got 2 yellows, you can exchange them for 2 red, or you can exchange the 2 yellow for 1 of the next one up. So for example, they go yellow, red, green, black, so I could do 2 yellow for 2 red, or 2 yellow for 1 green. They go up in value, so yellow is the cheapest, the black one is the most expensive. And again, it will become clear a bit later on when we lay out the game. Okay, so that's those cards. The aim is then, once you've got these cards and you start collecting your spices, is then to purchase these cards, and you'll see how they're laid out and how you can purchase them later. But for now, just an example, you purchase this card and it will turn 2 yellow into 2 red. It tells you what it does in the corner. Each card will do the same. That one, for example, 2 yellow will give you 1 green, because green is the valuable one. Black being the most valuable, so you can then change 3 yellow into 1 black, because black is the most valuable one. Okay, so once you purchase those and you start collecting, a bit of a kind of a building game, because you're trying to get the most amount of money, then you will then get contracts, and it's the first one, I believe, to 5 contracts, and then the game stops. Now, as you will see on each of those, there is a score. I don't know if you can see that, but it's there. This one is 15, so that's 15. So once you've got your contracts, the game comes to an end. You count up the points, and simply whoever's got the most points wins. I believe the coins come into play for that as well. If you take certain cards, you get a coin, and then the coin adds to your value later. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to lay out the game as it would be when you are ready to start the game, and then we'll come back and we'll have a little go and see how we go. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so I've basically set out the game as you would at the very beginning. Okay, now I've only done it with 1 player because I'm only 1 player at the moment. And it's just easier for me to explain with one set rather than trying to, do two different things. But the idea, the principle is exactly the same. Okay, the motions and the actions are all the same. Okay, so these are my two cards that I start with. Everybody starts with these two cards, and this is your cube storage warehouse, if you like. 10 spaces, that's the most of the spices you can hold at any one time without purchasing something. So if you look at these, the first row, okay, you can buy any of these cards. Okay, this one here is free to buy because you could just slide it down. So if I took that, I would take it, slide these along and make space for another one here. Okay, if I wished to purchase this third one in, it would cost me two spice cubes. Okay, yellow. So I'd have to put one there, and claim that one there. Okay, that would cost me 2 of my cubes if I had any. Obviously I've got none at the moment, so I can't play that. So for now what we'll do, we'll just pop that back on the pile. Okay, so my first move, because I've got nothing, I can't buy anything, not really, unless I wanted this one here for free. So the choices are, you can either build up a bit of a deck by collecting the free card at the front, so you would just bring that in, slide these across, put another one, and so on and so forth, each player doing the same. That's a good idea sometimes because these will give you, so this one for example will give you 1 yellow and 1 green cube to put in your warehouse. That's good because when you get up onto the cards at the top, the contract cards will cost you the prices on the bottom. So for example, this one here at 15 points that's worth, but it will cost you 5 green spices. And if you haven't got 5 green spices, then you're not buying that card. Simple as that. The coins, they are worth extra points at the end. And if you buy this one, so you purchase that one for 1 yellow, 3 red, 1 green, 1 black, that will get you that card plus the gold coin, 1 gold coin, okay, which is worth, I believe, 1 point. I think it's 1 point. I need to check. So if you bought this one, you would get the silver coin. If you bought these 3, you'd get nothing to start with. But if I bought that one, these, again, the same as the lower level, move along and then a new card is added to the end. So eventually this 14-point one up here, look, will move into position here. So you will get a coin when you want that. So if you want that particular card and you kind of wait for it, you will still have an opportunity to get a coin. Okay, so these are the contracts at the top. They're the ones you have to get 5 of those to end the game. Once you have 5 of those, you add up these points that you can see, 16, 15, 11, 15, 14. Add those points up, and obviously the person who's got the highest number of points with their contracts is declared the winner. So, just to go through a move for you, I've got my hand, my first card I'm going to lay is that one. It tells me I can have 2 yellow cubes. So I'm going to take two yellow cubes, or 2 spices, if we call them correct name, and we're going to add them to our warehouse. Okay, our storage card, if you like. Okay, so then other people go and they do what they want to do. Okay, and on this turn, I'm going to say, well, do you know what? I'm going to take the free card this time because I need that because I need to get some cubes because I can't afford to buy anything. So you put that directly into your hand, not into the discard pile. Okay, straight into your hand. You then move these along, as I said earlier, and add the next card to the end of that row of cards. Okay, so everybody goes. I come back round and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to play this one now, I think, because a yellow and a green. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 yellow and 1 green. Now I know green's pretty valuable, so you know that's a pretty good cube there. Although the next player along could say, whoa, there's a brown there. There's that there, so that's a free card. So I'm going to take that, okay, and put that into my hand. So That was a good move because you got the green and the yellow. Although these ones, they're the most valuable cards. These are the most valuable spices. So really, you would have took that and taken a brown one to add to your storage or on your next turn. So imagine I've done that. I'm going to then play this one into my discard pile to claim a brown. Okay. This card, for example, this tells me that I can take 2 cubes and I can upgrade them. So if I had 2 green, I could upgrade them to 2 brown. If I had 2 red, I can do 2 green, 2 yellow, 2 red. Okay, so it's the 1 up. Or I can take a yellow, I can take 2 yellow and upgrade them to 1 green, or 2 red and upgrade them to 1 brown. So you see the difference. Although I'm getting a better one back, it's costing me double. So it's up to me what I do. So in this instance, I think I'm going to take 2 yellow, pop them back, and I'm going to have 2 red, just to keep it simple. Okay, so we do that. Okay, so the game continues and you go round and round and you buy your cards, you keep moving these up and you keep adding one to the end, and you just keep building. This is the deck builder part of it, so you build your deck up so that when you've run out of cards, like I have now, your next turn will be to bring these cards back in play. That is your turn, to bring them back into play. So you're done now, that's it, can't do anything else. When you come back to your next turn, then your hand is back in play. All of your cards are back in play. You can do any one of these. So you could claim a brown, upgrade, yellow and green, or 2 yellows. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pause for a second while I create a scenario where I can move on to the next stage of the game once I've filled my warehouse with spices. Okay, back in a second. Okay guys, the game's moved on now quite a lot, and we're at a position where I own 4 contracts. 2 of them I purchased while they were in this position, so I got myself the gold coins, which earlier I said were 1 point. They're actually, the gold coins are worth 3 points. The silver coin is worth 1. Okay, so as you can see by my hoard, those 2 I bought while they was in that position. This one I bought while it was in the silver position, and the final one here I bought when it was in one of the final 3 positions. Okay, my storage facility, I have a yellow, 2 reds, a green and a brown. Okay, just before I go any further, these cards, as they come out, they can be 2 things. They can be a resource, so you can get 2 red, 4 yellow, 1 green, a red and a yellow, or earlier, as you saw in my hand, there was greens and yellows and reds and so on and so forth. Then you get the other cards, which are these ones. So that one, I can upgrade 3 of my spices to the next level, or I can, if you look at this one, if I want to, I can swap 2 brown and it will give me 2 green and 3 red. Sometimes that's actually better to come down, because you might need something to buy these up here. And if we have a quick look in the deck, okay, there are various different actions. So for example, just picking that one, if you want 5 yellow, you will get 3 green, which is not a bad thing, because they're, as you can see, they're 2 above. So, and they're all various. 1 red, you'll get 3 yellow, 2 red, 2 green, and so on and so forth. Okay, and they vary as to what you need, what you can get. That's quite a good one. 3 greens will get you 3 browns, which is even better, because brown is obviously the most expensive. And if you look at this one here on the end, you need 3 browns and 2 yellows. Now, if you've got a rake full of yellows or a rake full of greens and you're like, oh no, then that card would have been really handy, because you could swap your greens for browns on this turn, and then provided nobody buys it the next turn, you can have it yourself. Okay, so you then get the 14-point contract. Okay, so that's just a little bit more about these cards, what they do. So my move, it's my go again. Okay, I've got my hand. Okay, I've collected quite a lot. I've been quite busy, and I've bought lots of cards, and I've purchased them. Okay, and remember, this one is free. Okay, But if I want this one or this one, then I start having to spend these spices. So if I want this one, let's say I want this one, for example, the green, I then have to put 2 spices to get that card. Now that's okay, but the next player could then go, well, I'm having that card because it's free. So not only do they get the card, they get the spice that goes with it as well. So they've gained a cube. Okay, so then that moves that one, which then moves that one along. And the next player says, well, okay, I'm going to have that one because that's a red cube. That's even better. Wow, it's my day. So I'll have that card, which is a good card anyway. Plus, I'll have the spice. So they get the free spice. So really, you have to be careful about doing that. It's all right doing it with yellows because obviously they're the cheapest. But if you wanted that card and you've got that kind of layout that I've got here, I don't think you would bother because it would cost you too much. It would be too expensive. So you would just wait until it came along, maybe one more, because you've got a yellow. So it's my turn. I've got this. Okay, now I've got a red and 2 yellow. So I'm going to play that card. Okay, put that into my discard. So I get 2 yellow. Okay, 2 yellow and another red. Okay, which gives me that. Now, because I've already got 4 contracts, I'm now looking at purchasing my final contract. Okay, I've still got 2 spaces on my storage card, and as long as I don't fill them up, we're okay. Otherwise, I then have to spend it anyway. But in this scenario, it doesn't matter because I'm looking to spend it. So the game goes around. Nobody buys the card. Happy days. I then say, well, that's it, guys. I'm going to do 1 yellow. I'm going to do 3 red. I'm going to do 1 green. And I'm going to do 1 brown or black, whatever colour you want to call it. And I'm going to have that card there. That is my 5th contract. Okay. I'm going to take a 3-point coin, pop it on it, move these along because that is it. We're done. The game ends. I don't know whether you get one more go. No, I think the game ends now. That's it because I've got 5 contracts. We're done. Okay, so in this particular thing, let's just take off 5 other cards or 4 other cards. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that player's got 4. 1, 2, 3. That player's got 3. Okay, so I've just created, for the end of the game, I've just created 2 extra players. So now you would add up the total sum of your contracts, okay, and then the person with the most contracts, or sorry, the most points on their contracts is the winner. Okay, so in this case, I think we can clearly say that I've kind of whooped their butts, as it were. Okay, but you have to be careful because there are contracts in the pack with little scores, lower scores. So 8 and 9, 6 and 7. And so, you know, but I think it is, you know, when you're playing the game, you can see the contracts. So you can see the points you're getting. You're not going to, if there's an 8 there and a 14 next to it and a 15 there, you're not going to bother, are you? But if that 8 was in that position and the 15 was there, would you 8, that would only give you 11 points. That would give you 12. But then you've got some valuable ones up here. But if you've only got that in your stock, okay, and maybe a couple of yellows and a green, if that's what you've got in your stock card, you're going to look seriously at what's available. So you've got 2 yellows, you haven't got the brown, so you can't have that one. 2 yellows, you can't have that one. The green, you can't have that one. But what if someone else gets that card? No, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to have that. I know it's only 8, but the thing is it's 8 points with another 3 on top because it's the gold one. So it's worth 11. So it makes it worth a little bit more. But if it was just an 8 on its own, if it was here, for example, if that 8 was there, would you really go for it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. It's all about the points at the end of the game. So that's about it. Not really much to it. It's quite a good game, quite a simple game once you get the hang of it. It's quite a frustrating game because you can watch somebody take their turn and buy the card that you want, or the free card comes into play. You watch it come along here, you know, and you're like, yes, yes, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, and then somebody else takes it. So, yeah, it's a very strategic game. You have to think about what you're doing, you have to think about what you're buying. Overall, I would probably give it I'd go probably 9 out of 10. It's a good game. It's very, you know, interactive. You have to really think about what you want. You know, you don't just go like a bull in a china shop and buy all these and buy all these and buy all these, because it's pointless. Because by the time, if you buy those and then you need 3 green ones, that was a waste of time. So then you have to waste turns upgrading everything or swapping everything, and it's not worth it. So that's my review and opening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you an insight into this game. Not sure how long the game's been out. It's been out a while as far as I know, but I just thought I'd do it just for fun. Any questions, please leave some comments down below, and enjoy gaming. Thanks ever so much.